in the end, maybe. Um, so I'm wondering about a deity or an item. So do we look at a picture or look at the item or just hold it in our heart? And
You
are
have to
we
keep your
inhaling,
eyes, you keep your eyes open and you keep looking at it. Yeah.
keeping our eyes open with on the picture or the item?
Yes.
Okay, well, during that time, are we inhaling an oil from that list of 6 throughout the process?
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could also do it without the plants, or the oils, but the oils do accelerate the process. And so, if you're going to do it and you have the oils, I'd use the oils. But sometimes, like we've done with a star, where we have people like look at like an image of whatever deity or teacher
Yes.
there's of their tradition, and then we use mantra, right? So like a lot of times I have them like look at the image, and then like even try to look at the eyes of the deity if that's possible, and then you chant one of the mantras that maybe you have an affiliation for. Even on men could be good. Om Man, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om. And the mantra kind of does what the plant is doing. And so you don't even need to use a mantra. It's just the mantra makes it happen faster, like it facilitates it faster. And the oils make it happen faster, like it facilitates it faster. And the issue is that you're having to do it with you're having to bypass the sensory part of your mind, the part that's all the detail oriented stuff. And it's not that you're trying to sedate it or shut it down. You're just trying to recalibrate like how the sequencing is, where you want to use it more for an ally. And so like when you're trying to get things in, that part of your mind, if it doesn't recognize it, if it hasn't had past experiences with it, or if it doesn't make it comfortable, that part of the mind will usually reject whatever is coming in, right? So you kind of are trying to push past it, and then you're going to come back to it, like if that makes sense. And so with that, even one of the ways of doing it is with a bell, like you're doing it and you're looking and you're doing something like with a bell, or like the Tibetan bowls, the conch shell, or the I can't remember what they call that in the Jewish tradition, the horn, that spiral horn. It's like kefir or kefir. I can't remember. I have one, but I don't remember what it's called. But was it shofar? Yeah. So uh the act of doing a motion with generating sound will also do it. And even the prayer wheel, spinning the prayer wheel while you're looking at the item is also another way. Like a lot of times when you're doing the things that generate sound, like the bell or the bowl, or blowing the conch or the shofar, also the prayer wheel. The key there is you keep your awareness on your back heart, not on your heart, on your back heart. And on one level you can do it with your awareness on the blue pearl, but the deeper practice is actually to do the back heart, to stimulate the process that we're doing here manually. When you go through and you do the work with the sound, the objects that generate sound, even in the Native American tradition, the rattle, like doing the rattle. The key is to keep your awareness on the back heart, because it stimulates part of this process. And in the merging of the front heart and the back heart, when you're keeping your awareness on each one, if you're paying attention, it's a lot easier to keep your awareness on the front heart than the back heart, and it feels like very, very different. Like if you can really literally feel that it feels like two different things that you're keeping your awareness on, not like just the front side and the back side of something. And then over a period of time, you start kind of going back and forth, and they kind of start to even out a little bit. But when you get into that center, at first you're aware of each one, and then pretty soon it just kind of floats away. That's the point that you're looking for, is that potential of like not being able to differentiate between the front and the back anymore. But they have different functions, and so they have almost like a different weight to them. Like, you know, like the back part always feels like it's holding a little bit more, like it's got like more weight in it. It's like filled with a couple of grocery bags or something, and it's just, you know, it's just old stuff coming out, or it just has a little bit more function and activity and things that's going on. And by going through and doing this practice, it makes it easier for those two things to merge. So even the thing with like one of your bowls is you sit and just spin, you know, spin the thing clockwise. Look, I'm trying to see if I have spinning clockwise. And as you're spinning it clockwise, regardless if it's making the sound or not right off the bat, you just keep spinning it clockwise with your awareness on the back heart, and something will start to happen. The sound deepens the experience because of what it does to the nervous system, but it's a lot of it's about the motion and where you're keeping your attention, which is on the back heart.
Oh, so are you saying with the sound, we only focus on the back heart? We don't go through these other steps?
Yeah, just the back heart.
Oh, that's a little different version. Okay, well, back to
stronger version, like to like when people are first learning, I usually tell them to go through the different centers, right? But when you get to like a deeper practice, really focus on the back heart. Like really focus with the items that make the sound, because you're trying to develop the back heart to be able to do something. And the more that you stay focused on it, the deeper that practice becomes, you know, because eventually it becomes you're breaking through boundaries, you're breaking through all these things, you're transmuting, but at some point it becomes expansion of consciousness. And so that's what you're shooting for, is expansion of consciousness.
Okay, so just to finish up, if we are following the protocol you've given earlier, and we're using, you suggested those 6 oils, are those better than other oils, say fancy oils? You know,
For this right now, I would say yes. Like those
Okay.
are a little bit more geared towards like the blue pearl and the mental permanent seed and the materialization breath. This is starting to do something a little bit different. And so like you remember like who was it? Tracy was using tuberose, and she got a little bit of a headache.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about other choices later, but like it's almost like you have to, I mean, it's not anything bad. It's just that if you go too strong, too fast, that like the byproduct is something like that would happen. And I'm just trying to minimize that kind of reaction.
Oh,
If it
okay.
happens, it happens. I mean, I do it to myself all the time. So like that's why I started laughing when Tracy said that. I was like, oh, go big or go home, or swinging for the fences. I can't remember what I said. You know, there are stronger things to do, but it's almost like you want to like temper certain responses as you go through and do this, so that when you go harder or go deeper with it, that your body doesn't respond with a pushback, because that's what's happening for a little bit, is your body's pushing back, going, you know, you're going, okay, let's go deeper, let's have a deeper experience, like let's have expansion of consciousness, and your body is pretty much going, yeah, I don't know about that. Like you might want that. Going back to what I was saying before, sometimes we decide something consciously, but unconsciously your body's like, I'm not on board with that one. Right. So it's a way of kind of going back and forth to get your body to be more on board with it, you know. That's what happens. It doesn't really like cause harm. It just can make the body a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, you know.
Well, thank you